Hey there, Bloomers and friends. It's good to be with you again this week. Rev Kev coming to you from the Bloom office, as I'm sure you recognize immediately. I wanted to share with you a little bit about something that's been going through my head and probably relating to the events that I'm thinking about. The news is going to have something on it about the time you're seeing this as a part of the Bloom Notes distribution. An acquaintance, I wouldn't call a friend, but someone who has been the pastor of one of our Bloom members now is kind of under fire right now. It isn't kind of under fire, but definitely is under fire. Bishop Karen Oliveto was elected a bishop in the United Methodist Church by the Western jurisdiction at the jurisdictional conference last year, and has been serving as the Mountain Sky Bishop basically in the Montana area, and has been doing a great job of doing that. The thing about it is that she's a married lesbian, and that's kind of a problem for some people in the United Methodist Church. Now, the fact of the matter is that wasn't a problem at all for the people who elected her, or for anyone in the Western jurisdiction of the United Methodist Church, and which basically is the western portion of the U.S. and goes from Canada down to the Mexican border, includes us here in California, and is a part of the Methodist organization that has the big National General Conference, which is the national international organization, and in the United States has 5 jurisdictional conferences, Western being one of them. Well, upon her election, someone in the South Central jurisdiction made a fuss, brought a challenge to it, and asked the Judicial Council to rule on whether or not that election could take place. But the fact of the matter is that Karen Oliveto is an ordained elder in good standing in the United Methodist Church, and so therefore she is eligible to be elected a bishop. And one of the things that got established when the United Methodist Church came back together in the early 20th century after having been split by slavery is that these jurisdictions were set up, these 5 separate jurisdictions, and they were given autonomy in the selection of their bishops, so that no jurisdiction was able to tell another jurisdiction how to elect a bishop or what the qualifications for a bishop could be. It was a complete autonomy. And the reason for that was that the southern jurisdictions did not want any northern or black bishops. And so they wanted there to be these barriers that kept that from being the case, that people could interfere. And so it's just hysterical to me that one of the southern jurisdictions is now reaching over to the western jurisdiction and wanting to interfere in the work that has been done. We don't know what the outcome is going to be. At least I don't know right now. We may know when you're seeing this. If it's a situation where the Judicial Council has somehow reached out and nullified the election of Bishop Karen Oliveto, it will be something to see, and to see what the reaction is and how the Western jurisdiction handles that. It will also be a very sad day for many of us. The thing is, if the Judicial Council says jurisdictions are on their own, they're supposed to do their own thing, that's going to be upsetting for a lot of people who are more conservative in their theology and are not for the full participation of lesbian and gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex people in the ministry of the church. Now, so I know, I am now a UCC minister with full authorization throughout the church. I'm no longer a United Methodist minister, but this is a part of my background, And the fact of the matter is, there are people in our congregation who are familiar with Karen Oliveto and are feeling this as well. So what I'm asking is that we can all continue to be prayerful about this kind of thing and hope that the United Methodist Church comes to its senses and the Judicial Council comes to its senses and basically preserves the episcopacy of Reverend Dr. Karen Oliveto as a bishop in the Western jurisdiction, currently serving and assigned to the Mountain Sky Conference. And, you know, it also affects people in our church who used to live in that conference and even serve in that conference, as some did before they've moved to Southern California and now are a part of the Bloom community. So you may be reading about that. That's my take on it a little bit, and I just hope you'll keep it in your prayers. And we pray that that sort of anxiety that causes people to do that sort of thing, to bring charges, to bring challenges to the advancement of LGBTQI people in the church, that anxiety is healed, and that the pathology that makes people do that sort of thing is healed in such a way that we don't have relapses in the future. Bloom Sunday morning is going to be wonderful with the music of Melodium. We look forward to that. It's the 5th Sunday of the month, so we're benefiting from Melodium being with us there under the direction and guidance of Dorian McWayne. We love those folks, and it'll be just wonderful music. We look forward to being together. If you can't be with us in body, please be with us in spirit. And as always, and every day, please keep Bloom in your prayers.